On my birthday, my boss's son called me into his office and said, "Here's my surprise for you. You're fired." I left quietly without making a scene, then told my husband, who just smiled. 4 hours later, panic broke out. 98 missed calls. I'd been the head chef at Romano's for 3 years. When I started, it was a struggling family restaurant with 2-star reviews and empty tables. I transformed everything, rebuilt the menu, trained the staff, sourced local ingredients. Within a year, we were booked solid with a waiting list. But when old Mr. Romano died last spring, everything changed. His son Giovanni inherited the place, and he had different ideas. Cut costs, use frozen ingredients, fire half the kitchen staff. People can't tell the difference anyway, he'd say, counting receipts while I fought to maintain the standards that built our reputation. I refused to compromise. Our lamb osso buco was legendary. Our house-made pasta brought people from 3 states over. I wasn't about to ruin that for Giovanni's profit margins. So on my 32nd birthday, after our biggest week ever, he called me into the cramped office above the dining room. Birthday balloons from the staff still hung in the kitchen below. "Here's my surprise for you," he said with this smug grin. "You're fired. Effective immediately. You're too difficult to work with." I stood there, sauce-stained apron still tied around my waist, watching him lean back in his father's old chair like he'd just solved world hunger. I didn't argue, didn't cry, just untied my apron, set it on his desk, and walked out past the confused prep cooks who'd worked under me for years. The drive home felt endless. 3 years of my life gone, my reputation, my team, my recipes, all handed over to someone who thought ketchup was a vegetable. My husband Scott was waiting in our kitchen with a bottle of wine, and that knowing smile he gets when he's up to something. "How did the birthday shift go?" he asked, already pouring 2 glasses. "Terrible. Giovanni fired me." His grin widened. "Perfect timing." "What do you mean perfect timing? I just lost my job." "We have a mortgage, Scott." "Bills." He pulled out his laptop, fingers dancing across the keyboard. "Remember that food critic from the Times who came in last month, Julia Chen? The one who wrote that amazing review about your lamb dish?" "Yeah, of course. She said it was transcendent." "Why?" "Well," Scott said, turning the screen toward me, "she's been discreetly asking around town about hiring a private chef for her daughter's wedding next weekend. Very exclusive, very high-paying. I may have already told her you'd be available." I stared at the email thread. Julia had been trying to reach me for weeks, but Giovanni never passed along messages. She was offering $15,000 for a single event, more than I made in 3 months at Romano's. "Scott, how did you—" My phone buzzed. Text message. Then another. Then it started ringing. Giovanni's number flashed on the screen. I let it go to voicemail. Then more calls. The assistant manager, the sous chef, even the dishwasher. By the time I checked, there were 47 missed calls and counting. Scott was refreshing his laptop, cackling. "Oh, this is beautiful. Look, a scathing review had just gone live on every major food blog and review site, posted an hour ago, right around when Giovanni would have been running dinner service without me. Romano's restaurant, a spectacular fall from grace," read the headline. The review was brutal. "Food quality has completely collapsed. Undercooked chicken, rude service, avoid at all costs." Turns out, without me in the kitchen, they'd served raw chicken parmesan to a food blogger celebrating her anniversary. The same blogger who'd praised us 6 months earlier when I was running things. The review had photos, pink chicken, burnt vegetables, a dining room full of disgusted customers. My phone kept buzzing. More calls, more texts. The panic in Giovanni's voicemails was escalating with each message. "Jesse, please call me back. There's been a misunderstanding. Jesse, we need to talk. The evening didn't go well. Jesse, call me now. People are getting sick." By midnight, the health department had posted a notice on Romano's door. Temporary closure pending investigation. Giovanni's 3-year plan to maximize profits had lasted exactly 4 hours without me. The final call came at 12:47 a.m. Giovanni, crying. "Jesse, I made a mistake. Name your price. Whatever you want. The restaurant is yours. Please." I declined politely and hung up. Julia's wedding was spectacular. Her daughter cried when she tasted my signature dessert. 3 more clients booked me that night. Giovanni called twice more that week, offering partnerships, ownership stakes, anything. Romano's never reopened. Sometimes the best revenge isn't planning something elaborate. Sometimes it's just being irreplaceable and letting incompetence speak for itself. Scott framed that first review from Julia Chen. It hangs in our new restaurant now.